Okay, and as we said, change-wise, it doesn't look that much different when you look at where the hands are, but you can certainly see it's just more neutral. So everything now is kind of more symmetrical. Your shoulders are kind of straighter, your arms are hanging down. Everything's kind of more in line, where here your arms are over here. It just looks a little bit off-centre. So now your hands are out of position, okay, so that's going to deal off the golf club. It caused that club to get quite steep and sort of very lifty in the backswing, as we said. And then you were sort of fearful of coming down into the ground, so you then started trying to come up out of the shot. So what we see as you come into the golf ball this way, sort of leaning back here to try and get your ends, so this pulling up with the arm, and then right foot not really moving that much. Whereas this one here now, there's still going to be a little bit of that left elbow, but backswing wise is great. Again, nice shoulder turn, and he's nice and in line now. As we come back to the golf ball, lovely strike, head now is nice and centred. You can keep that width there. It'll be a little bit there, to be fair, but that hand has a bit more extended. But if you look at the movement through the right foot, that club's gone up on that toe there, okay, all that weight now down pretty much through your left foot there. And I think the key thing is the variation in that swing to that swing is, we'll say that much, and you get suddenly gain 10 or 15 yards. If we can just tweak that maybe just a smidgen more with practice, potentially 20 yards, suddenly now you said at the start of the lesson, first lesson 2 weeks ago, I'm a short hitter, you're going to get into that category of medium length hitter, because that's a 7-iron. If a 7-iron's going, well, it's clearing that black and white stick with ease. That's 95 yards, that black and white stick. So you're putting about 110, 115. If we can get another 5 or 10 more yards in the 125, 130 with a 7-iron, that ain't short, is it? And it's not a question of becoming a big hitter by swinging it harder going to the gym. We're just maximising the efficiency of that golf club. So the power is there, but we're doing it under control. And that's the thing. There's no point saying, guys say, I want to hit the ball further. And they just try and smack it as hard as they can.
It's about timing.
Exactly. Gentleman this morning, he's 85, I think he said. He was 85. And he said, I want to gain 10 yards. I said, okay, fine. I said, what if I gain you 15 yards? He went, well, okay, great, love that, yeah. And he wants to get down from 27 to 22, which I think is a bit of a jump, but happy to be positive. But we went from 134 average of the driver on the range to 152, and I left him for a 156 drive. So that's almost 21 yards he gained in half an hour. So you can gain that yardage. He hasn't gone to the gym in that time or got suddenly really strong. It's just maximise, exactly. Which is why you see so many sort of little kids and stuff hit the ball as far as they don't. Look at Imogen, for example. She's this side, she's bombing it 70 or 80 yards with the three if she gets, just through technique and timing and understanding. Well, not necessarily understanding, but actually being able to create the most efficient way to swing a golf club. If our hands are forward and we're picking the club up steep and chopping, we lose power. But then we're going to start.
When you using that. Pictures worth 1,000 words.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, you wouldn't have really realised that your hands were there.
No.
Even if I said, your hands are forward, the mirror does help. You certainly wouldn't have realised you were doing this quite so much. No. Because in your mind, well, the club finishes over my left shoulder here, so I can't sort of go here and then do that, can I? But as we can see, the camera does showcase that. So once we get that position set up more comfortable, at the moment now it's probably slightly odd, but not feeling as strange as it was 10 or 15 minutes ago. We can then start maximising that club speed, and I think in terms of where the club finishes up here, is getting that hinge through the ball so you finish. And like I said, that simple little test where you sort of set yourself up, you sort of swing back to that L position, and then from there just turn, don't unhinge your wrist, just turn your chest, there you go, there's your through position, okay? It sounds daft, but you go from one side to t'other, and without unhinging your wrist, that's all you're doing. And then once you get used to sort of using your wrists and unhinging them, then you're kind of like, that was a little bit forward again, you see. And when you got a little bit forward, a bit matty, you got a bit steeper into the golf ball, you see. Because the steeper we come down, the less energy the back of that ball's going to have, you see, yeah? So nice and neutral. Hinge up on the way back, and we can unhinge and release through on the way through. Lovely. Does that make sense then, Peter?
Yes, it does.